It's the story that's ignited fierce passions across the nation. Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager, was shot down by a white neighborhood watchman who...
Breaking news tonight, it was a case that sparked outrage across the nation and heartbreak here in Cleveland. 12-year-old Tamir Rice playing with a gun outside a rec center. The gun turned out to be fake, and he was shot to death by a rookie police officer who says...
The Cleveland Police Department is now responding to a wrongful death lawsuit by blaming a 12-year-old boy for his own death. Tamir Rice was playing with a pellet gun. He was then shot and killed by a police officer after a 911 call.
Minorities are disproportionately impacted by police violence in America, as well as the stereotypes that end up spinning their stories away from the truth.
The police department has now responded, and they issued a statement that reads in part that Rice's death was, quote, directly and proximately caused by the failure of the plaintiff's decent to exercise due care to avoid injury. It goes on to say that the family's injuries and losses were, quote, caused by their own act.
Deadly shootings fill a constant news stream in places like Chicago, New Orleans, and other major U.S. cities. But there was one story in particular that garnered more anger and outrage than usual. The death of 18-year-old
There was growing outrage tonight after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson.
Witnesses said Brown's body lay in the street for hours. Protesters of different ages and races demanding answers in the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown at the hands of a police.
Emotions had been running high for several days in the city since the death of a black man after he'd been detained by police. Mobile phone footage showed 25-year-old Freddie Gray screaming in pain as he was dragged and put in the back of a police van. Soon after, he was in a coma.
Here at the spot where Michael Brown was killed, hundreds still gathering, with calls for an even bigger rally tomorrow at the police station.
Let's take a live look right now from Air 11 as Houston residents express their anger over the shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. This is near the University of Houston.
You're looking at this live picture from HD Chopper 8. Here you have hundreds of protesters that have marched onto Interstate 35 here in downtown Dallas, shutting down the northbound lanes at this hour. Here in Atlanta, we have seen protests in a number of different places in downtown Atlanta.
2 days after a New York City grand jury cleared a white police officer in the chokehold death of an unarmed black man, the protests are growing larger and spreading across the country, including Boston and Chicago.
The last words of 43-year-old Eric Garner. Now to the latest on Sandra Bland, the woman who was found dead in a Texas jail cell 3 days after being arrested during a traffic stop.
Black people get killed having Skittles, they get killed having Arizona iced tea, they get killed with their hands up. White kids have toy guns all the time and they often don't get killed. Police stop them, they detain them, they take other measures. What I'm saying is the sight of black bodies inspires a different response than that of white bodies in this country. There are studies that prove that, and as such, I'm saying that's a fundamental problem that we all have to deal with.
There is a specific problem that is happening in the African-American community that's not happening in other communities. And that is a legitimate issue that we've got to address. We as a society, particularly given our history, have to take this seriously. The African-American community is not just making this up.
We just want answers, yo.